Welcome to our latest episode of the Lebanese Physicians Podcast. Today, it's the beginning of our series of creativity and professional speaking and their role in improving mental health of individuals. And our guest today is Sheryn Knaider, who actually was born to non-Lebanese parents. She'll talk to us more about that in a bit, and grew up for the most part in Lebanon and of course other countries, but spent a large portion of her life in Lebanon. And she's currently the president of the Professional Speakers Association of the MENA region and the GCC. And I think part of the reason she's going to talk to us about creativity, professional speaking, and improvement in mental health is when you grow up in Lebanon, you're exposed to so many ups and downs and so much instability that you have to become creative to be able to survive. Sheryn, welcome to the podcast.
Bonjour, Khalil.
Bonjour.
That's my French part,
I'm trying to speak, trying to practice my French right now, but I have a good accent in it. So Sheryn, can you tell us a bit about yourself, like your journey from Egypt to other countries to Lebanon?
Okay, let's do it short. Thank you first, Khalil, for inviting me on that podcast. This is the first. Second, I just wanted to mention one thing. I am an expert in creativity and problem solving, but the most important thing here is adversity. I was born in Lebanon, and thank God I was born in Lebanon. Now, why? Because Lebanon makes us very resilient. I like resilience, the term resilience, because people don't know what is it. Actually, what is it? But we don't become resilient. It's just that life, when we endure hardship and challenges, we get used to it, and that makes of us very, very. How do you say it? Help me. It makes us. I don't like to use the resilience. It makes of us
overcome adversity, maybe.
Yeah, and very easygoing. Okay, let's say it that way. So I was born in Lebanon, and I was raised here for 15 years, and then I had to go to Egypt and Cyprus and France and Italy and all over the places. And then I came back, where I had my first three kids, and then I had to go back 2006. We all know that, you too, maybe. And so it's going and coming. You know, it's like this ex-boyfriend where you forget about him. You think that you forget about the country. And then when you come back, that's it. You want to stay and the good things. But Lebanon, something very special is that the people makes it special. The people are, I like to say it in French, like the old 40s, 50s, where everybody helps everybody. You know, we have a big, nice community. When you endure hardship and adversity, community is the most important thing. So when you feel bad, when you are bad, please don't stay alone. Go to anywhere, go to your community, anybody, but don't stay alone. And this is what makes Lebanon very nice.
Right. I think we used to have some German friends, and they always used to tell us that in Lebanon, there's a lot of community because the government is weak, so people have to depend on each other to be able to face adversity together. So that's why there's probably a better sense of community in Lebanon, let's say, than in some of the countries that are doing economically better than Lebanon.
You know what? The latest example we can give, Khalil, is in the 4 August 2020. The biggest explosion in the world after Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Okay, at 6:07, few seconds, the Beirut disappeared. No one helped us. No one. The government, no one helped us. Only one association, only one school. It's the Red Cross of Lebanon and the people themselves. They lost everything. They created this very strong community, and this is the nicest example I can give.
Right.
Voilà.
So she
helps you.
tell us, can you tell us,
Does.
you spent you spent a good number of years before the explosion or the August 2022 explosion in Lebanon. So can you tell us what you did? Because you did a lot of things. I mean, you created like a stand-up comedy school and other things. Can you tell us a bit of what you did before the explosion? And then we'll talk afterwards about what's happening now.
Okay, I had many lives. I'm a very passionate person. So whenever I find something passionate, I just do it. Now, I started being an architect very young. My father passed away and he wanted me to be an interior architect. So I did. Fully convinced, but I did. So I went to France, I went to Italy, and I studied that. Then when I came back, I opened a gallery of furniture, of course, that was still, you know, to honor my father and the family because we're in the wood business. And after that, I did association water in activities in water because I had my first kid, my first daughter. And in Lebanon, there were nothing for kids under the age of 3. So I created this association of, how do you call it? Baby swimmers and seniors in water. And after that, I helped the father of my kids in food business, Italian restaurants. So I did many things different from architecture to water to food business. But overall, it's very human. It's the contact with human that I like. And I'm extremely curious and very creative. So then I had to leave in 2019. And I had to reinvent myself again. And I stand up comedy school in French in the Middle East. And then I wrote 2 books for women. And voila. And then we had to leave again and again. So and now I live in Dubai.
Right.
As an expert in creativity and problem solving, and as a speaker, and as a founding president of PSA Arabia.
Right. So
Voilà.
basically, again, Lebanon had made you more creative by all the upheavals that were going on, and it led you to go back and forth, and then finally you're in Dubai now due to the situation or what the economic situation in Lebanon. And so when did you get into professional speaking, and how did you get into this? I'm not going to say public speaking, I say professional speaking, because also you probably tell me the difference between public and professional speaking, because before the podcast, I was calling it public speaking.
Yes. Yeah, let me tell you first what's the difference between a public speaker and a professional speaker. Very easy. A professional speaker is somebody who earns his living from speaking gigs. Like at the end of the year, if you see his invoices, okay, the biggest part is speaking. It can be talks, it can be seminars, it's speaking, okay? Actually, teacher can actually be professional speakers, but they're not, because in front of them, they don't have specialists or experts, right? This is second, to be a professional speaker, then you don't need necessarily, but it's easier if you're part of the association of your country. Now, a lot of professional speakers are not members of the association, or more or less have an association, one association in their country. They all related to the GSF, which is the Global Speaker Federations. So let's say you have one federation and then you have association. So what I did, Khalil, I was in France, so I'm French too, and I was on the board of the French Association of Professional Speakers. But what I did, meanwhile, when I was in Dubai, is I created a professional speaker association in the MENA and GCC region. So that goes from Morocco to Saudi Arabia. So it's a huge project I'm working on. And the aim is what? The aim is to say to people, you know what, you can earn your living by speaking gigs. Now, for me, it's important because, as you know, mental health, and we talked of that before, getting to the channel, that I had some issue very young. I had some panic attacks. I was very young. I didn't understand what happened to me. And I knew that by speaking, saying jokes, as stupid as it is, in front of people, made me feel better with myself. So then years later, I understood that, you know, not only saying jokes, but actually you can convey a very strong message, being funny, but in front of experts and in front of corporates. So that's the major common point between speaking and speaking in public. I mean, as a professional speaker. So that's it.
Right. And so what prompted you? I mean, were you doing, that's one question I have for you is, were you doing professional speaking in Lebanon before you went to Dubai? I think you were doing some, right? And then what prompted you to develop the Professional Speaker Association of the MENA and the GCC in Dubai?
Very honestly, I used to be a speaker, a trainer, a coach, and a writer before what happened. Then I had to go to Switzerland in 2019, and then I had COVID, and then I had to go back to Dubai. Anyway, never know when I will finish, but for the time being, I'm there. So the idea was, and you're gonna laugh, what is the easiest way for me to make money quickly, to be able to, I have 3 kids, right? And these 3 kids didn't ask anything. So leaving them in Lebanon is, how can I go faster in my expertise, and so people know more about me, is to become a professional speaker. Because as a speaker, you are not known by your peers that you're expert in your domain, right?
Right.
You can be a public speaker, but no one will refer to you as being the specialist in your niche of expertise. So when you become a professional speaker, and when you have a book, even better, you have to wait for a small month. My book is going to be online. You are more, how do you say it in English? You are more legitimate to talk about it. Voila.
Right. And I'm not going to ask you, I mean, you can probably tell us in broad strokes what your book is about, but I'm not going to ask you to go into specifics because the book has not been published yet, right?
Yeah, look, it's very simple. In February, I was invited with the PSA India. So PSA, guys, is Professional Speaker Association. Then you add the name of the country, or if it's Francophone, it starts. So a lady there, Nirja, that I really appreciate a lot for many reasons, told me, Sheryn, look, creativity and problem solving is very interesting, but what we like to hear about you, adversity. And I said, look, adversity is not in my program. That was last year. And she goes, but everybody's talking about that. And I go, look, okay. So I did a talk. And the title of the talk is Against All Odds. And the subtitle is From Adversity to Achievement, how we reinvent ourselves. So basically, the book is going to be about that topic, but it is not at all. So I created a formula. And in this book, I am not talking about the formula, actually. I'm talking about the formula at the end. And I'm just telling you a story. That's it.
Yeah.
Very short, 10,000 words, straight to the point, very nice. And voila.
Excellent.
Why? Because I think I am legitimate to talk about adversity, especially when you're a woman, especially when you got kids, and voila. So yeah, I'm very excited about the books, actually, because the book is not the talk, but really it makes it very easy to read.
Right.
Voila.
Right. Especially it's a story. So basically talking about this and going from adversity to, I think, to positive thinking and improving mental health, because I think a lot of the mental health issues that people are facing these days are due to, let's say, we talked about community, right? Due to individualism, loneliness, lack of community, maybe negative thoughts, So how does creativity and professional speaking help improve mental health and improve the outlook in life for people?
Okay. What's funny that this morning I did a poll on LinkedIn, right? Just wanted to see how people would react. So I was very, so I have a group called, the group is called Brain Expansion. And let me just tell you what somebody, okay. So we have two sides. We have the creativity and public speaking. So how creativity and public speaking can help people with mental health issues, right? So the answer I got that I really liked is that, so listen to that. When you learn to be confident speaking, your mind in front of a room full of stranger will be confident in any other areas of your life, and that spills over to all aspects of wellness. That says it all, right?
Right.
If you are ready to speak in front of stranger, and that means you went out of your comfort zone.
Right.
Because when we have some mental health issues, we are very introvert, we in a comfort zone, we don't want to speak to people. But that's why I say to people, do theater. It really, or do stand-up comedy, do anything to get you up there and speak. Speaking doesn't mean to do talks. You can even go and make people laugh. And believe me, people who are the most funny are the most introverts. Know that. It is true. So that was for the mental health. And what about creativity? Look what they say. So Sandy Gupta, which is the chair of PSA India, says, creativity is the product of internal peace, right? And public speaking of internal expression. Both are signals of mental health. Do we need to add more than that? No. Why creativity? Because when you have, I personally had some issues, so I know what I'm talking about. And I know when I become creative, I am curious. Before being creative, you're curious about things. Once you are creative and curious about many things, you go deep in things. Going deep means that your comfort zone, you left it and you're just searching, you're just trying to find out new things. Doing so, your mind, your neurons are getting into something called like endorphin. They are getting excited and they go out of it. So we all know that, not really, creativity is about alpha waves. You know about alpha waves? It's between 8 and 12 hertz. And guys, if you want to be creative, I'm going to tell you something. It is so damn easy. Khalil, when we were at school back then, and you used to have this nice pencil, and we used to do this. We used to doodle, right? And the teachers comes and say, no, don't doodle, concentrate. Well, actually, doodling makes us creative. Yes, as if when you look outside the window, or when you see dogs and cats playing, or when you see the fireplace. That is the state of mind when you go to the bathtub or do a shower and you say the aha moment. This is the time that you need for yourself. So we are being creative, but we don't know. So please, whenever you have these aha moments about something, write them down. This is the first step of being creative.
Right, and I think part of it these days, I was hearing last time one of the authors, I forgot the book's name now, but she was talking about how people don't have alone time anymore. Like you're always thinking about something, or checking your email, or surfing the internet, or checking social media. But this is not alone time. Like, to be creative and to be able to get internal peace, probably you need some time where you just sit alone, think of things on your own, and not necessarily be on a screen. What do you think of that?
The answer for that is one. It's called The Book of Life from Jiddu Krishnamurti. Okay? And you have the book online, which is audiobook. And he says that, why today no one can stay still without noise? You need to put the music on, you need to hear things, you need to, go on social. And when you stay still, what happens is your subconscious starts speaking to you, and you don't want that, right? You don't want this to talk to you.
Right.
When it is exactly in the silence that you figure out who you are. That's why no one is today, especially with the Wi-Fi and internet, can stay home doing nothing. It's impossible. I mean, when was last time that you wrote, yeah, sorry, my English is poor, books? No one reads books. I remember in the 90s when I went to Paris for the first time, and everybody was there, reading books. Do you play cards alone, solitaire? I do. And I don't put music. I just need time to concentrate, because it's so, how do you say it in French? شي بيخوف in Arabic.
Scary.
It's so scary
Yeah.
to be alone and say, who am I? Where am I going? What I'm doing with my life? No one loves me. Everybody is better than me. You go to social media and everybody is beautiful and nice. And there is a very nice French stand-up comedian. Her name is Florence Foresti. And she goes, God damn it, we're Tuesday morning and everybody is beautiful and more good looking than me. And they're tanning and going to the beaches. It is true. We are under stress. So what I do is I post, but I never see what other people do. So no, but you can't. If you do, and you say, that's it, I'm doing nothing. No, so I like to stay alone. I do woodworking. I have my pets. I do stay alone with no music, and I need this time for me because I do meditation, transcendental meditation, and it helps me a lot. So, and I know for mental health, it did help me a lot. Like, incredible. From the first session, I did it. I can tell you, my kids saw me for the first time coming from the first session with the teacher. And they go, Mom, what did you do? You blossom. And I did. And it's so pure. It's something that's, I mean, I do push anyone to do meditation. You know what? To pray. No one prays anymore. Pray whatever you want, but pray.
Right,
Because when we pray, we pray with no music, right?
Right.
And no distractions. You pray.
Exactly.
Voilà.
And that's where I think, like, I've read a book about the 5 a.m. club, where, like, if you wake up every morning at 5 a.m., you can do your own things. You can do your exercise. You do most of the stuff that you need to do in the morning. And that's like an alone time, because you're not being like distracted by noises and stuff like that. So I'm going to ask you a question. So let's say, because you're the president of a professional speaking association, you get invited to give a talk to, I guess, I mean, since we're Lebanese within the podcast, I can say doctors, but the general population, about how to think positively and improve your outlook in life and mental health. What advice would you give people in your speech?
To do what exactly? What is to
like you're talking to people about improving their mental health and improving their outlook in life. What's your advice to people to achieve that?
Very easy. And then I'm going to ask you questions, because now it's not my turn. Listen to that. I was in Dubai and I went to see this guru called Sadhguru. Everybody knows him. Like, I was shocked to see that people follow him as God. Okay, 17,000 people in the arena. I was shocked. Anyway, so the first hour he said something that the only thing that really hit me is one thing. He said, Scientists and doctors say, Khalid, that in 15 years, everybody is going to have a mental health issue. And I was like, what? And it's not, you know why? Because people are lonely. Loneliness, and people drink a lot. So actually they have 10,000 followers, 100,000 followers, but no one speaks to them. They are alone. If you remember back in the 80s, I am old, guys, but I don't look like. Back in the 80s, we used to end up every single night with friends home. My mother, my father used to say, bring people over. Always food for friends, always. And we used to, at the end of the evening, say jokes, play ping pong, anything but people, to be surrounded by people. And I think today people have this problem because no one speaks. You go see you shrink 3 times a week, but you have no one else to talk to. And that is so, so sad. Let me tell you something. What about the poor people living in Africa? For example, they're not alone. They might not have food, but they do have a community. We don't belong to anything today. We only belong to that. That is the thing that will make us worse. But this is what I think. If you don't have a strong community. I don't know what you think. I don't know. You have 2 girls, I have 3 girls, right?
Right.
And we see the difference between how we were raised up here in Lebanon and how they are. What do you have to say about that? I'm asking you the question.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's harder now just because of social media and phones, and you always wonder, like, when you provide your kids with a phone, and what are they going to do with it? Do you limit their time on it? So it gets to be hard, and I see that a lot of times they're spending a lot of time like playing games with their friends on phones and stuff like that. So I think it's a completely different way of being raised. But only time will tell, I think, how the kids will turn out afterwards. But I think it's completely different way than the way we were raised ourselves.
But I think there is a lot of anxiety in these teenagers today and young adults. It's incredible how much anxiety they have. I mean,
right. Yeah, I think there's a lot of mental health
for me,
issues.
that is my concern. That is my concern today. As a mom of 3 daughters, that is my concern. My concern is that they are passing the whole time on social media, and for them, their social media is our back then nothing. Back then we had nothing. We had the streets. We used to play football or ballon chasseur in the streets, and we were the whole day. My mother at 4 p.m. she used to say, "Come in, wash your hands, and go to your room, study, and that's it." I mean, it was a easy life. Today, I don't know. My concern are the new generation, Khalil. Really, is the new generation. Our generation, I think, because we had the chance to be able to detach from these social media, because maybe I say maybe because sometimes we're worse than our kids. When I work on my phone, I work at text, I do everything on the phone, and that's horrible.
Yeah, I think like having the phones is more also, if let's say when you were bullied at school in our time, you come back home, you're away from the bullying. Now if you're bullied, you can come back home and can still message you or TikTok you or whatever, Snapchat you, and still be able to bully you even at home, so you can't even run away from it. And I mean, there's a huge deficiency here in the U.S. I run with somebody who's on the American Psychology Association for schools, and she tells me there's not enough school psychologists now because there's so much mental health issues in high school kids and middle school kids that they don't have enough psychologists to take care of these issues. all of these issues.
But it's even worse in France, because I obviously don't follow what's happening in the States, but I do follow what's happening in France because our TV is a French TV here. Khalil, the number of suicide teens only because of bullying. Suicide. Ragazzi, يا شباب, شو صار? Suicide. I mean, how I was personally bullied. I was personally I wouldn't say sexually abused, but older men of the village trying to whatsoever, you know what I mean? And we went out of it because I don't know how tough we were back then. But today it's but no one listened to them too, because they don't talk, because they're afraid of talking. Because they think they know everything. And Siri cannot help on that, because usually Siri helps for everything. And Alexa too. I'm not jealous about Alexa and Siri, but definitely my concern is the new generation. My concern. Anyway, maybe because I have girls, and maybe, I don't know. Anyway, creativity and we said public speaking. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Did ever in your career, public speaking or creativity help you in any sort of issue?
You're asking some hard questions now.
No, I mean, usually I told you it's going to be a ping pong, you and me, I mean, I'm not going to be the hero of the emission.
No, I mean, public speaking, I can say I started off as, it was hard for me to speak publicly initially. And I used to be scared of doing public speaking. When it was time, once I learned it, I think I enjoy it now, like speaking publicly and interacting with people while speaking. I think it's an enjoyable experience and helps me like focus myself, feel more confident about myself. And creativity wise, I think I like doing things that make me more focused. I mean, for example, like doing this podcast, I guess you can call it a form of creativity, but also the other things I do that help me focus, like we discussed before, is I do long distance running. That also helps me have a community, helps me get focused in the morning and get a better day moving forward. So I think these are probably the things that help me get more focused and help me decrease my anxiety too. Because I think if you don't do these, then anxiety would be a big issue, and it's something to overcome. I think I've overcome it. I mean, I've got some anxieties, but I'm able to overcome them by doing the things I do right now.
Well, one of the things that I do is very easy. I wake up in the morning and then I pray God that I still have my head on my, like, alhamdulillah, I'm fine. My kids are fine, beautiful. So before, I know everybody's okay. That's why when you wake up at 4:40, 4:30 and 5 in the morning, everybody's sleeping. And so you have time for yourself. I start with meditation. Most important, you pray, you do whatever, you're still on your bed, your eyes are closed, and you just do your affirmations, you repeat your mantra, you do whatever you want. It's not important, but you have time for yourself. And especially you do your affirmation. And what I like about Émile Coué method, he says in French, very nice, I'm going to say it in French, dans tous les domaines, je vais de mieux en mieux. In all domains, every day I feel better and better. So when you just preach that something better is going to happen today, you're just saying to your subconscious, go out there, nothing bad is going to happen. And then you start your day with the hot coffee, with the hot tea, and I always say, alhamdulillah. In Arabic, we have this, thank God. And I have a nice son like now, and said, thank God I have the son. And I swear to God, every single thing that happens in my life, I have this gratitude about it. So if I take my car and I do an accident that no one died, I laugh. And I don't call my friends and my bestie and my kids and, oh, you know what happened today? I did an accident. No, I don't mention it. Why? Because if you think about it, every day when you do something nice that you like have a hot shower, taking a nice coffee, and imagine if you like the sea, you know, the shore, and everything nice you put is a white, comment tu dis un galet, a white stone, you know, the stone of the beach, the white, how do you call it? How do you, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, the white stone. So when you take a coffee, you have a white stone. When you listen to a very nice music, you put a white stone, etc. Okay, imagine the shore with the white stones. And then all of a sudden you did an accident or somebody
Pebbles,
insulted
like
you.
pebbles on the beach, right?
Pebbles, bravo. So
Yeah.
white pebbles. And all of a sudden you have one black because something happened bad. And then you have nice ones come along. At the end of the day, try to look back. Most of them are white. Very few are black. So what does it mean? It means that the sum of your day is a good day. But when you want to concentrate on the black pebble, what happens? The whole day is going to be horrible because your subconscious doesn't know the difference between reality and something you invented. So if you repeat the bad experience in your life, only bad things are going to happen to you.
Right.
So I decided I'm going to laughing to my brain and I'm going to be a happy person. So this is it. Now, when someone gets on my nerves, I get also very upset, but then I'm like the Arabic coffee. It goes and then it goes down very quickly.
Right. Yeah, I think one of the things that practice, which probably you do too, is if somebody's a very negative person in my life, I try to avoid them and just spend time with people who make me feel better about myself. So.
And guess who are the people who pull you down?
Yeah,
Usually it's family and the best friends, old friends, because you are obliged to have them in your life. And that's not true because you can't take them out. Because when you meet somebody new and he's negative, you're going to leave him.
Right.
Because you're not obliged to cope, right?
Yeah, right.
So basically what I did, we say in French, table rase. I just...
Yeah, like tabula rasa, or what you call it.
Tavola rasa in Italian. Tavola rasa. And that's it. And
Tablet.
you are with yourself. You don't want to have negative people around you to pull you down because it's very easy to pull people down and it's very difficult to pull people up.
Right.
So, so I think creativity makes it all. Being curious, like cats. That's why I love cats. I have cats, actually. I have 2 cats. They're so joyful. They're so, you know, and they're very alone. I mean, they don't need a lot of maintenance, but it's nice to have them because they have this curiosity and they go and I'm like that. And I think everybody has to be a bit curious.
Right.
And to have this gratitude. Khalil, people are not having gratitude to what we have. We have food every single day. We have the sun. Okay, I don't have the cold. I live in Dubai. But basically...
You have the extreme war. You have the extreme warmth.
Yes, I know. But I always say one of my posts on LinkedIn, it's called, "It's easy to be happy."
Right. So far, I think we've discussed, let's see if we discuss other things, but so far we've discussed having community around you, right? Having friends makes you happy. Avoiding negative people makes you happy. Creativity in multiple forms, such as art or professional or public speaking, right? It doesn't have to be professional speaking, it could be public speaking.
No. Yeah, public speaking.
Get paid for it. Can make you happy. Exercise can make you happy. And just waking up in the morning, meditation, right? Meditation, and just being gratitude. Anything else you can think of?
To laugh. You know, I told you I came up with this stand-up comedy school in 2019 before the revolution. Laughing is immense. why would we like to see, stand-up comedian? Why? It is a jolt to the brain, and the brain like newest. And what's nice about when you write stand-up comedy, because I do stand-up comedy now, I'm trying in English. It's very interesting because I know that a lot of people know how to write but are unable to, to act. So what I can tell them, why don't they write? I mean, this is creativity. This is pure creativity. I mean, there are a lot of people who are very good in writing, very sarcastic, and depends on the how do you call it? On the humor you like. But creativity, laughing, being with music, dancing. Oh my God, dance. For the movement, for the synchronization, for the scenario, everything, it is super, super good for mental health. I mean, look, imagine me living alone, which is I am, waking up with the nice music, meditating, dancing alone, eating very healthy food.
Right.
I am going, if you eat junk food every day, your brain gonna be. So eating healthy, a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits. I'm pescatarian, but like less meat and a lot of lentil, how do you call it? The beans. All that makes that your mind, you fresh, shower in the morning, shower in the evening. I don't know. I mean, use that. Massage. You like massage?
Yeah, I mean, I don't do it a lot, but I think it's a good thing.
If you have a friend that makes you a massage, pay him. I mean, I don't know. Just enjoy it. Enjoy small, stupid thing that makes you happy.
Right, right.
Voilà.
And I think a lot of people spend, now one probably last thing, a lot of people spend a lot of their time, let's say, working or trying to make money. So does working a lot and making money, does this make you happy?
No. When I was a coach, somebody, usually I coach CEOs. So they come to me and they say, oh, we want to multiply the rand, ROI. We want to say, oh. Okay, this is money. Can I ask you a question? Yes. Are you a happy person? And then I lost them. And I said, yeah, but that's not the issue. I said, yes, this is the issue. You're trying all your frustrations to put them inside the work. At 60, 70 years old, you will not have health anymore. What you're going to have?
Right.
What you're going to have? Comment tu dis en anglais?
And maybe you won't be able to walk, whatever. It's like, and then regrets. Then you have regrets, right? Because then you look back
Regrets.
and say,
You're going to have regrets.
right,
Life passed like this.
right.
Health and your kids, if you have kids, or your family, to cherish them. You know what? In this book, I had a teacher in neuroscience. She was actually the president of PSA England and Ireland, Linda Shaw. The aim actually of life must be to be happy. Not to gain money, to be fully happy and to be really happy. Happy doesn't mean, oh my God, everything is beautiful every day. But, at this end of the day, I had a blessing day. If you can live like this, so chapeau.
Right, right.
I swear to God, if I didn't have to redo my life at my age today with 3 kids, because we lost everything in the bank, and you know that. We have Lola in the banks. We can see them, and we can retrieve $400 a month. But if I wasn't obliged to work, I would have stopped. And meditation, take care of animals, take care of people. Because at the end of the day, what's good for you is to do good to others. Is one of the TED Talks of one student said, it's not to live a passion, but to, how do you say it in English? To when you're nice, you do good. How do you say it in English?
Do good as you want done to you, or something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, give back.
Yeah.
Do an activity that everybody is going to d'en profiter. Je ne sais pas comment dire en
Right.
anglais.
So what you're saying is also that's another key to happen is volunteering your time for something or giving back to the community is like another.
Yeah, giving back, and it will
Right.
fulfill you with happiness, with joy.
Right.
And
Right.
seeing joy, or one of the things I can tell you about everything we did, I forgot one single thing. One thing, if you really want to feel happy, go and play with kids, small kids. I swear to God. If they're not on their tablets, okay? That's normal kids playing.
Yeah.
Pass some time with them and you will see how you feel after. You feel alive.
Right. Right. Right.
Voilà.
Yeah. So I think it's a good discussion. I think we discussed quite a bit of things, making people happy. And I was going to ask you now, what's your goal with the Professional Speakers Association in the next couple of years?
Okay, so مثل ما بيقولوا بالعربي فتحت على حالي جيبها. How do you say this in English?
I
I open on
opened
myself.
I opened a can of worms, maybe.
Maybe on myself. So I created this association for okay. So the aim is what? Is to make of these people, so we all have in common Arabic and English, and some of them French, right? Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, and then you have Libya, Egypt, Syria, Jordany, Lebanon, and then we go to GCC, to the Gulf. The aim is to be able to teach these people, not teach as much, create this community and start having something called educational program to be able to give them in the return from the membership, starting what is speaking in public, okay? Because we're going to have 5 memberships. The first one are for students. And I insist on having students, 15, 16, they start maybe being very good speaking, skills, and then university. And then you have something called explorer. Like you go in, like Khalil, okay. You get in, you don't know what you're going to have, but at the same time you meet fellows that are interested in the industry. Then you have that are already speakers, but not professional. I mean, not entitled to use it. Then you have professional speakers, so number 4. And number 5 is going to be honorary members. So people in the region who already are known, famous, that can convey the message of professional speakers. My intention, and I hope I will get it one day, is to get to all schools and universities. That's a huge project. And to be able to do events, of course, every 4-6 months in a country, in a zone, like Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, and then you take Lebanon, Egypt, Jordania, and then you take Dubai or Saudi Arabia. So to be able to do these events, these conferences, and it needs a lot of time. We're doing the leadership team. So many things are on the process. I'm at the very beginning, so I do need a lot of help. So my message for these guys, for everybody who is in the region, if they want to help us to start this association, please. The website is www.psaarabia.org. Anyway, you just write, and then that's going to be awesome if we can have some members or people interested that they have a message, to help the association.
So the
Voilà.
membership, but the membership is the membership open on the website right now, or
Not yet,
right? Yeah.
because we have some, not yet, but there is a form where, do you want to become a member? So just to see. Now, you cannot be a foreigner living, you cannot be a foreigner American living in America. You have your NSA. But if you are a Lebanese, Egyptian, Syrian, living abroad, yes, you can be. Now, I'm not saying no to other members, but it is done for people of the region that are living in the region or outside the region, right?
Yeah, yeah. With the goal, I guess, of promoting professional speaking in the region.
Exact. We don't have a role model of professional speakers in the region, and this is what we want to do. But because what is very, very important that people in the region can very easily go to the States, go to South Africa, go to Canada, go to Australia, and speak because they do have Arabic, English as the second language, or sometimes the first language. So it's win-win situation.
Right.
Voila.
Right. Because I think growing up in the region, like let's say in Lebanon, your parents don't like, you don't grow up and your parents tell you, go to college, we want you to study to be a professional speaker. They either tell you go do business or law school or a doctor or engineer, but they never think about this is not
Or go and do a doctor like you. Become a doctor.
right. But there's no right in colleges. Let me know if I'm wrong, but is there like there's no professional speaking degree, right? Like you don't get a degree in professional speaking. It's you get a degree in something else.
No.
You learn professional speaking with time.
So to become a professional speaker, there are two ways. Depends on the countries. The first one, as I told you, it's the invoice, like NSA in the States, and the invoice of the last 5 years, how much you earned, and there is a minimum quota that would tell you that you are, and many other things, of course. And other countries where there is a certification, a accreditation, like you have a test in front of jury, you come. So they will note, no, we say they will, how you saying, they will note, they will give
Like they will give you a certificate.
no, it's the subject, if how was the presentation.
Yeah.
I mean, they will evaluate, and there is a jury. Yeah, and you have like 5 or 10 people. So yeah, or you have it or you don't. But what I can tell you is that the shy people are the best professional speakers. Funny, right? How come?
Yeah, why?
Because
Why is that?
because most people who are very at ease in front of a camera or very at ease in front of public don't really concentrate on their content. They are so sure of themselves. They're sure that they're going to be perfect in front of people. They don't really study it. While people who are shy, before getting on stage, they are sure 1,100% that they own their talk. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So they will not go there on stage saying, oh my God, I forgot, or like, I don't know, or no. They would do everything to be able to be better than the ones who are very at ease.
Right. So they prepare quite a bit for the talk before they come on, and they practice it.
They practice and practice. And, just to be a professional speaker, you have to practice and practice and practice. Now, the people who learn by heart their talk of an hour, or people who know the titles and the links by heart, and the rest depends on now I'm not going to get into that, but basically you have to be able to entertain and give a strong message to people for minimum 45 minutes. And the first 20 seconds are the most important ones. The first 20 minutes. What I can give you is a tip of speaking. Any presentation you have to do, even for your boss, even anyone, even at school, like my daughter, I told her, look, you have 4 ways to come into it. You never say, hi, my name is, never, ever. That's it, 0. You start or by a quote, or by statistics, or by a story, or by a question. The first 20 seconds, if the people don't engage with you, you lost them.
Right. Because then they
That is the
They
tip.
become bored and they're like, we're not going to listen. They just disconnect from the talk and not listen to it.
You can be a genius. You can be a genius in front of people. They will disconnect a few seconds if you don't have this aura or you don't interest them. But the most important thing is not you. You are not the hero. The speaker is not the hero. He has to make people feel what he felt. And that is very, very difficult. You're not there to say the story. You are there to make them feel the story. That's a huge difference.
Right. Because once they feel it, they're more at ease and they interact more with the story and remember it afterwards to more.
They have to, Khalil, it's very easy. They have to relate.
Right.
You only relate to emotions. You don't relate to a story just because it's a story.
Right. 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 Sheryn,
Right?
this was a good I think this was a good talk, a good podcast, and I think we discussed a lot. We discussed professional speaking, the difference between it and public speaking, what does it mean, how to become a professional speaker, how to relate to your audiences, and then at the same time we discussed mental health, how to prevent anxiety, prevent depression, and promote happiness. So thanks a lot, and good luck on your PSA Arabia endeavor.
Yeah, but I am not happy
Why?
because we didn't talk about you. It was all about me.
That's on purpose.
Okay. So next time we will try to arrange that.
Yep.
Khalil, merci beaucoup. And I hope that everybody enjoyed it. And if anyone has any question, please let me know. Please write to me and let's hope it will be a small success.
Right,
Voilà.
right, right. Thank you.
Merci. Au revoir.
Bye.